Alrighty, ciao mi amici. We are going to do my February TBR challenge. Draw random flowers. They're not random, actually. I looked them up. I decided to draw flowers and kind of make a TBR challenge and kind of mess with these like they are, kind of inspired by tarot cards is what I'm trying to say. So every flower has a prompt associated to it based on the meaning behind this flower. So let's pick a random one to explain it. Here we have marigold. Now, there are some flowers in here. I also went through each month's flower, so it could be based off of the flower or off of that month. It's kind of, so I'm pretty sure marigold is October. Yes, marigold. Marigold is the October flower. The marigold stands for many things, and one of them is remembering and celebrating the dead. This card could mean that it's time to read a book about a person who has passed, a book by an author who has passed, or a book about ghosts. So you'd pick something along those lines. Actually, I'm not going to put that there. So, that is my challenge. There's, I believe, 24-ish? I think I miscounted somewhere in there. 24-ish. TBR tarot cards. So we are going to do that right now. So my first card here is the yellow rose. Yellow roses symbolize friendship. This card might be wanting you to read a book recommended by a friend. And for that, I picked Waiting for Tom Hanks by Kerry Winfrey, which is about a woman who lives in Columbus, Ohio, i.e. the skyline right there, Columbus, Ohio skyline, which is also where I'm from, and kind of why this book was sent to me by my best friend. And it's about this hopeless romantic who loves writing screenplays, writing, novels, those type of things. She really wants to be in the screenplay world, in the movie industry, but she can't really catch a big break. It doesn't help that she lives in Columbus, but she wants her Tom Hanks because Tom Hanks is in all these romantic comedy films. And there, for some reason, there is being a movie filmed in Columbus, Ohio, and her uncle or her dad or somebody helps get her a job there, just kind of like a low-paying job at the screenplay, and she kind of starts a budding romance with the main lead actor, but it doesn't start off very well for them, and we kind of go from there. And I'm excited about this book. I had already read some pages. I read up to 45 in the beginning of the summer because my friend sent it to me, and I'm going to read a little bit of why she sent this to me and recommended it. So she goes, "I'm sending you this book because I cannot thinking about you while reading it. It's about a hopeless romantic from Columbus, Ohio. So the main character is basically you. I hope you like it very much. If you get the chance to read it, let me know who you think would play the characters in the movie. My mom thinks a young Channing Tatum, but I thought more of a Captain America era Chris Evans." So I'm very excited about that. Like I said, I love the Columbus skyline on it. There's also on the spine. There is a sequel to the book called Not Like the Movies that also has the skylines of Columbus on it. So I'm hoping that, I'm hoping that this book is hopefully an enjoyable 3 stars at the least. The next one is Daisy. Some say April's birth flower is the daisy. The daisy is known to symbolize birth, motherhood, and new beginnings. This card could be telling you to read a few different things. Read an author's first published book, or read a book by an author you've never read before. And for that, I'm going to read This City We Became by N.K. Jemison. And I'm pretty excited to dive into it. For one, this cover is beautiful, and I've heard great things about N.K. Jemison's writing. Now, I'm going to kind of read a little bit more off of here than explaining it, because I think I probably won't give it the justice it deserves. So in Manhattan, a young grad student gets off the train and realizes he doesn't remember who he is, where he's from, or even his own name. But he can sense the beating heart of this city, see its history, and feel its power. In the Bronx, a Lenape gallery director discovers strange graffiti scattered throughout the city, so beautiful and powerful, it's as if the paint is literally calling to her. In Brooklyn, a politician and mother finds she can hear the songs of her city pulsing to the beat of her Louis Vuitton heels. And they're not the only ones. Every great city has a soul. Some are ancient as myths, and others are as new and destructive as children. New York City, she's got 6. I'm so excited about it. New York is such a dream city for a lot of people, and me included. I'm excited to dive into the personalities of each neighborhood in New York City. I'm excited to talk about it with my sister because she lived there for a few months while she was at school, and I just think it's going to be a really incredible experience with such a cool concept. And I really would love to, I know this probably never going to happen, but if they wrote, if N.K. Jemison, if they wrote a book about Rome in the same aspect, because Rome is my city, my dream city. I love all the neighborhoods, and I think it'd be pretty cool. Third one is Protea. The Protea flower is eye-catching and symbolizes change and courage. This TBR tarot card is saying, let's change it up and read something outside of your comfort zone. For that, I picked the Stationery Shop by Marjan Kamali, and I need to look up how to pronounce that name correctly, which I can't right now because I'm using my phone to film, but I will look it up in future vlogs and stuff to make sure I pronounce it correctly then. And this is about, I'm going to read probably mostly out of the description because I don't really remember what it's about. I bought it mostly because, one, the cover, this is so beautiful, and the Stationery Shop, because I love stationery stuff, and I thought it'd be really cool to get culturally outside of my comfort zone, as well as I'm not very into adult fiction like this. So it's about a woman who lived in 1953 Tehran, and she finds a literary oasis in a neighborhood stationery shop. It's stocked with books, pens, and bottles of jewel-colored ink. In there, the stationery shop owner introduces her to his favorite other customer, and they start a budding, passionate romance where they seek refuge in this beautiful book/stationery shop. And then a few short months later, on the eve of their marriage, where she agrees to meet him in the town square, there is a very sudden violence that erupts, and it results in a coup that forever changes their country's future. In the chaos, she never gets to find him. For weeks, she tries desperately to contact him, but alas, she does not. So she moves on to college in California, to another man, to a life in New England, and then in a chance encounter nearly 60 years later, that she has the opportunity to meet with him and ask him the question that has haunted her for her whole life. Why did you leave? Where did you go? How is it that you were able to forget me? So like I said, I'm really excited to dive deep into this. I think it's going to be very hard and complicated for me, just because I think culturally I've never read a book like this. I think maybe that. I've never read a book in such a unknown culture to me, and I think that's gonna be really good for me because that's the whole point of reading, is to experience, something different and to learn about it. So I'm really excited for that. The next one is Chrysyntheums. The November flower is Chrysyntheum. Chrysyntheum? I don't know how to say that word. Otherwise known as mums.
symbolization of this flower is lasting friendship. This card may be telling you to read a book with a strong friendship involved.
And for this one, I had to stretch it a little bit because I wasn't too sure about some books on my shelf that could have friendships in it. So I am going to read Captain Marvel Liberation Run, an original novel by Tess Sharpe. This is part of the Marvel Universe, and I am pretty pumped about trying to read these books. I bought a few of them, one book run, and I'm excited to dive into them. This is about Captain Marvel helping out an Inhuman named Rye. I'm gonna have to look that up later. Who is rejected by the caste system on her planet, and she risks everything to refuse some of these caste ideals. And Captain Marvel, aka Carol Danvers, comes to her planet to help her out. And I think that just by that story alone, that baseline, I think there's going to be, friendship between her and Rye. And then there's also going to be some superheroes that help along the way, like Ant-Man, Mantis, and Amadeus Cho. I'm going to figure out how to pronounce that too. So I think it's going to be, kind of that type of thing. I don't think there's going to be much romance. There's going to be a lot of action, probably no romance, and friendship. So that's going to be fun.
And finally, Highsynth. The legend has it that the young Greek Hyakinthos was loved by the gods, and when he was killed, a flower grew from his blood, then named Highsynth in his honor. This card is telling you to honor the youth of Hyakinthos and read a young adult book.
That I picked The Unstoppable Wasp, Built on Hope by Sam Maggs. This book is about Nadia Van Dyne, who is the adopted child of the original Wasp, which for some reason I am blanking on her name. For some reason I can't think of the original Wasp's name, but Nadia is her adopted child, and she takes on the title of the Wasp. And she is part of the Young Avengers group, I believe. And I'm really excited to read this book. I love the Marvel Universe. I am trying to delve more deep into it, and I think that this is going to be a really fun read. And also, look at these stark white pages. I feel like most novels are not that white on the pages, and the font's pretty big, and altogether I just think it's gonna be really, really cute book for me to enjoy. That's the books I picked for February. I'm very excited to dive deep into them and read them and just indulge a little bit, and hopefully you can follow along by subscribing to my channel and following all my vlogs in the month of February while I read these. I hope you enjoyed that little challenge. Let me know if you have any flower ideas and what they could potentially be telling me to read, and maybe I can draw them up and add them to the card stack. And basically that's it. Like I said, I'm Daniela. If you don't mind, give me a subscription if you want to. If you don't want to, not a big deal. And have a great rest of your day. Ciao. Ooh, I do not like that kiss.